Honestly, this is like my third video, and I'm not gonna lie, like for quite a minute I was just starting to feel like absolute fucking shit. And it's like, I know in a sense that we're like spiritually in tune and tapped into like people, but in another sense it's just like I kind of fucking hate it. Like, I hate being around people that are like so limited or like stuck in their ways, because then that rubs off on me. And that's where like it just agitates me, because it's like sometimes I just want to escape. I want to run away. But whenever you're limited like in resources and stuff like that, like I completely understand that struggle. I understand. And sometimes like it makes me want to just like strip myself out of everything so that way I could just be free. If that makes any sense. Like, I don't like being trapped. I don't like being in stupid situations. I don't like being around people that drain my energy, don't respect me, don't respect my boundaries. Like, it all just comes in. And then it just like, and then I started getting into my head about like, like when it comes to like my career, my business and whatever. And it really got me in my head. I was just like, am I doing enough? Am I doing enough? But you see all these entrepreneurs and they're always talking about like, this is part of the stage. Like, this is part of like the doubts. This is part of like where you push through, where you're always being faced with the doubts. So like, don't be giving up on yourself. Like, every entrepreneur is going to have like those droughts, those rainy seasons, and that's where you push through. Life, it was not meant to be easy. It was meant to be endured. And that is where I get so frustrated, because it's just like sometimes this endurance, like, is it really like paying off? Like, am I really like accomplishing stuff here? Am I actually growing, or am I just wasting my time? And those are the questions that I constantly ask myself, because I already know like right now I might just be in disalignment because I'm just like facing other stuff at the same time, and it just brings out like this insecurity or this like sense of like vulnerability where I feel like I have no way out. I can't protect myself, or I can like protect myself at very minimal like faces. The cats are here like walking by, so I'm just kind of like, okay. And then I also got out like of that environment because it was just choking me up. And it feels like I constantly keep getting like, attacked like from my throat chakra. It's like they don't want me to voice myself out. They don't want me speaking my truth. They don't want me to really like break free. It's like there's like something so intimidating just by wanting to like speak about things like so clearly and concise, that you just want like no fucking confusion, no illusions, no trauma, none of that stuff. Plain off. But it really gets irritating whenever like people are like so committed to like misunderstanding you, not hearing you out, not wanting to like come up with like solutions or resolves. Like, it's just like, are you just like okay with this like circus stuff? Like, but that's this is the part where I'm trying to like understand how to break free from the cycle, because like in one way is like what you give out is what you receive, and whenever like there's like two opposing like polarities, like you still attract the opposing thing. So that's where I'm like, the 12 laws of like the universe, I keep telling myself to like check it out, but I have not checked it out. I just feel like overwhelmed. And it's been a minute since I've done like a recording, and I'm actually surprised like there was people that actually subscribed. I'm not gonna lie. It's a lot having to do with like the fact that I do get in my head. I am just a human being. Like, I'm just another individual. So whenever I see like not the most positive comments, or I see like people like putting out their opinions, I'm just like, well, I don't see you putting yourself out there. Like, do you really think it's like an easy thing for me to just like put my stuff out there, or like show my face out into the world? Like, no. But I know like this is part of my destiny. This is part of my journey. This is part of me getting myself out there, out of my comfort zone, and to grow into my own skin and being comfortable with like just speaking up. Because there is just so many things that have happened in my life that I did not speak out on, that could have helped somebody out, could have prevented like a specific situation or a dynamic from playing itself out into like my life or someone else's life. And this is like where clarity plays a big role. And I feel like communication has just been such a big lesson to me this entire year, and it gets very aggravating, because it's like communication be like so integrated, so flexible, and it can like bring in like the duality and the contrast in people, unless like you're very like detached and like flexible and open-minded per se, or if you're being met with like emotionally mature individuals that can give you that open space to understand you. But not everybody's going to be able to comprehend and understand everything, so it gets very agitating. And I don't know where this journey is taking me on. I really am trying to have the best mindset as possible and not let those intrusive thoughts or like the emotions that get to me and make me believe that, yeah, you are actually what these people say that you are. Like, I hate that shit. I really do. It's frustrating. It really is. Because sometimes, like, I wish I could just delete myself out of this universe, and nobody knows who I am. Nobody has a recollection of who I am. They don't have an imprint or any of that. And I could just exist and just be, if that makes any sense. And maybe this is my avoidance talking. But again, I just don't like it when my past gets thrown in my face. And I'm sure, like, you probably have felt the same way. Like, it's like, okay, it already happened. Like, let that shit go. Like, don't bring that up. Like, what do you gain from bringing my stuff up? Like, exactly. Like, it already freaking happened. I already learned the lesson. Like, stop fucking punishing me for something that I didn't know back then. Like, we're humans. Like, we're always going to be, like, having mistakes. And I feel and hate when people like make you out to be like, you know, a perfect individual, or they expect you to be a perfect individual, when it's like, no, I'm human. I'm bound to make mistakes. Like, give me grace. And sometimes it's like, you know, there's like a fine line where like accountability and being honest about like, okay, like, is this potential, or this is like, you know, something that needs to just be more worked on, or a better system to be implemented so that way it can like stop happening over and over again. I'm just watching my cats just mosey their ways around. I'm just ready for a new life, a new chapter. I seriously really want to relocate so bad. Like, I keep putting it out into the earth, like, I want to relocate. I want to move. And I've been planning like mentally about it, like the steps that I'm going to be taking, but it's like, it's just something, an opportunity or a blessing can just like show itself, like, please take me. Like, a good one. Like, I'm done with the BS. Like, something that's long, sustainable, and, you know, healthy for me. Because I really want to be either in California or in Arizona. I just love the mountains. Like, the mountains are very beautiful. I just love, like, the cold air. Or, like, you know, like, the non-humidity. And I just enjoy whenever, like, there's cool nights. And I know it gets pretty hot in Arizona, I know that, but it's like, I already live in Texas, so it's like, there's nothing new to this. Like, I've experienced the heat, especially with a car that doesn't have AC. I've experienced the heat. I know how that feels. So by all means, I think I can withstand this. It's just a lot of having to do with like, the practical life. And this is where like I'm learning about like, you know, the divine feminine, the divine masculine, how it all interconnects into the real world, and the duality. It's just like so many concepts that I'm just like it's so easy to understand. Like, I can completely understand, but it's like a complete other challenge when I'm trying to like speak it out into the camera or like onto the people, like, and learning how to break it down more to like you can understand what I'm talking about and it makes sense. Because like to a normal person, they're gonna be like, what are you talking about? It does not make sense. Like, what are you on? And it's like, divine feminine and divine masculine are within your own self. This is like, you know, your relationship with your mother, your relationship with your father. It all intertwines and intermingles, and it reflects back with how you like handle relationships with like women and men, even in your friendships or partnerships, or even with your own siblings. Like, it all like reflects out. Like, everything gets mirrored back to you is what I'm referring to. And this is where like we got the yin and the yang. Still the same thing. Divine masculine, divine feminine. Divine masculine is all action, movement. I think also having to do with protection. And then divine feminine is like creativity, intuition, cycles. It's like knowing the balance between both, because you carry both energies within your own self. Even if you are a man, like, you carry both. And there's just like so many concepts that I'm like so like conceptualizing. But a lot right now that I'm on is just like manifestation. But how can you manifest whenever you're not at the best, like, you know, environment or emotions? And I'm constantly like fighting with the contrast on and on and on and on and on. And that's where I'm like, frustrations. And no, this is not me complaining, this is just me explaining. I know sometimes when like it comes to like conversations, it sounds like it's complaining, but it's like, no, I'm pretty aware, and I know that I gotta work on like how I express myself and how I communicate. How do I come across to people? Because I'm not here going to play victim and be like, poor me. No, I know a lot of the choices and things that have happened in my life have been self-inflicted, and sometimes they were unconscious. There were unconscious behaviors and patterns that I was doing and ended up biting me in the ass. A lot of the stuff that gets manifested is through your unconscious mind and programming. So if you're ever wondering how you got to like where you got to, it's because of your programming and your mind. And I don't know. I feel like there's just so much that I want to talk about, and it feels like I'm like on a FaceTime call here. But I'm just like, I'm just rambling. I'm just rambling off. Because now I just like, there's just another thing that I was picking up on. Because like recently I've been to like 2 events. And within these 2 events, it taught me so much about how when you're in the wrong room, you know you're in the wrong room. Like, you're going to feel unease, you're going to be on guard, you're going to like feel it in your face that you're masking, or that you can't fully like relax or just express yourself or just talk the way that you want to talk, because you got to be worried about how you're going to be being perceived. But it's like in my head, I personally don't care, but because I was with somebody else and they told me like, hey, like chill out, and it's just like, I'm just talking, this is just conversation. But if someone is having an issue with the conversation, they should say something, you know? That's the part of advocating for yourself and communicating, or just removing yourself like out of that. But it's not your job to like be emotionally regulating people, and it's also not your job to be emotionally like, you know, testing the room temperature for people. Like, that is something that I'm like so done with, that it's like, I don't give a flying fuck. Like, if you're feeling uncomfortable with me, tell me. Like, I am so sick and done of being like a people pleaser, because like that has gotten me nowhere. Because what it actually has shown me is like, you're building inauthentic relationships and connections with people that are probably benefiting out of you, either in some shape or form, taking advantage of the fact that you don't know your self-worth or how to respect yourself in some shape or form. So in some shape or form, they're taking advantage of you, and sometimes they don't even know that they're doing this. So this is the bigger lesson of like knowing what boundaries are. But this is just me rambling. This is me just being a little frustrated, like letting off some steam, because there is that. But there's just so much. Like, I sometimes wish I had people that are just like open enough to have these kind of conversations and open up my horizons, and not just give me that woo-woo. Like the woo-woo stuff, because like I understand the woo-woo stuff, but like show me the practical steps, like give me actual real tools, like, you know. And I know a lot of it has to do with like me like actually wanting to do the work, me actually implementing stuff, me actually following through. But I don't know where this journey takes me, but I'm just like so done. I'm like done, like I am done. But I feel like that's the part where like Spirit's like saying like, how done are you really done? Like, are you done until like you finally do some action, or are you done until like you finally like can no longer tolerate it? And I feel like that's my lesson here. How much more are you willing to put up with this? Which it was never supposed to be like a negotiation, you know? It was never meant to be put up to negotiation or up for question. And that's where knowing your self-worth takes place. I was so thrown off. One of the guys is like crying, but they're fine. Don't mind them. I feel like that should be all. I needed some like time outside to clear my mind. And I feel like this did me justice. Wait. Because I know somewhere in the world someone wants to hear my voice. I know that for a fact. And whoever is like, they're ready to hear me out, thank you and I appreciate you. I didn't even know I was gonna get 9 subscribers. Like, to me, that's a lot. Like, for just me just talking and not having to like be doing anything on camera. Like, I appreciate that shit. Wholeheartedly, I appreciate it. But with that being said, thank you. And I'm gonna let you go. It's been 15 minutes of me rambling, and this is just to give you some insight about my life and the things that I've been learning. And if you have any questions, like, literally give me a comment. Or if you want me to go into more specifics, again, comment. But other than that, thank you for tapping in, and thank you for following me around my journey.